Hey everybody, if you will give me just a minute to admit everybody, this shared to our social media. I'll be right with you. One second. I hope everybody has had a great day today. Okay, we are almost there. Okay, sorry about that, y'all. Let's see. Another person. I think we're ready to go. So welcome everybody. My name is Sarah Edwards. I'm the president of the Junior Women's League of Smithfield for the 2020-2021 league year, which just started on July 1st. So it's been an exciting year so far, and we are off and running. And I will ask everybody to keep themselves muted for now, just so that there are no feedback issues or anything like that. Facebook feed off. Okay, that's better. Okay, so what we hope to do tonight is to give you all an overview of the lead, hopefully answer any questions that you all may have. And we're excited that you are taking the time to join us, and hope that we can get you well acquainted with the league tonight. So we will go ahead and get started. I'm going to share my screen with you all and take you to a brief overview of the league. It's not working. Okay. As I said, we are the Junior Women's League of Smithfield. And this organization was founded back in October of 2015. Our mission is to promote volunteerism, develop the potential of women, and improve the community through the effective action and leadership of trained volunteers. In the short time that this organization has existed, you can see we had our first interest meeting in January of 2016. We've grown and done a lot in the community. We're excited about what the future holds as well. We have more than 100 members from all over Johnson County. When the first board created the league, they kind of thought it would be women from Smithfield, and were very pleasantly surprised by the response. And we have members from all towns in Johnson County and beyond as well. So the only requirement for members in terms of being qualified for membership is that you're 22 or older. We have members into their 70s, and that you have a desire to serve Johnston County. So whether or not you live in Johnston County, we would love to have you. We know some people live just across the line in other counties, but they consider Johnston County their home, where they work and play and that sort of thing. And we do welcome women of all races, religions, national origins that are committed to the to service in the county. Just one second, I'm sorry. Okay. The benefits of membership, there are many. These are just a few. As you can see, training for effective community leadership and personal development, insight into the community needs and strategies to deal with them. We've done a really good job at being responsive to the needs of the community, and you'll learn a little bit more about that in a bit. Exposure to the administration of nonprofit agencies, both the league and then the other organizations that we volunteer with. Opportunities for developing and improving leadership skills. So there are many chances for you to get involved on committees within JWL and in service in different ways. Opportunities to volunteer in the community through well-organized projects, both those with our partners in the league's efforts itself. Access to new friends and ideas, which has been a great benefit for a lot of our members, meeting new people, and then opportunities for personal development. These are the partner organizations that we currently work with, and we have volunteer opportunities with them and with other organizations throughout the county as well. So I'll give you a brief overview of these organizations. The first, the MeFund Foundation, serves families who have someone in the hospitals, in regional hospitals. So UNC Children's Hospital, Duke, and Wake Med, I believe. So they provide things like assistance with utility bills, because if you have a family member in the hospital and you need to be with them, that may very well impact your ability to earn an income, or things like gas cards for making many trips to the hospital and back. They do a lot of great things. Our members love to volunteer with them for their MeFund Gala in the fall, and Music for MeFund events. We've also done some collection events where we provide bags for maybe the neonatal intensive care unit for families who unexpectedly have a stay in the hospital, or different needs that they have as well. The Miracle League of Johnston County is a program that offers baseball for children of different abilities. They previously played on fields that had raised bases and dirt, and that provided some barriers to children who maybe were in wheelchairs or used walkers. So they now have a flat miracle field at Smithfield Community Park where they are able to play on Saturday mornings in the spring and fall. Those kids have such a great time, and we get to be buddies and coaches for them, as well as serve in a few different capacities. The Partnership for Children of Johnston County is a great organization that provides resources to families and child care providers in Johnston County to ensure that by the time children here get to kindergarten, they are already set up for success. So a great organization we love working with. Johnston Health Foundation and the CQ Hospice House are another partner of ours. They provide many services to the community, and we're glad to help them in ways like volunteering for their events. The 14O Derby Days is one of them, and they do a few different runs and walks throughout the year. At the CQ Hospice House, they have a tree lighting event in December every year, and we do things like provide desserts for the families who have a loved one there. My Kids Club of Johnston County is a fairly new organization. The name is fairly new, but they've existed for a while as the Boys and Girls Clubs of Johnston County previously. They have some great after-school programs and summer enrichment programs for children where they're exposing them to so much that will benefit them in the future. They do things like college visits and mentorship, and just do a really great job of meeting the needs of those kids. And then finally, Harbor of Johnston County is Johnston County's only nonprofit organization that serves victims of domestic violence and sexual assault, which is very important work, and we're glad to support them in the work that they do. We provide volunteers for them in a few different ways, to include assisting their or providing meals for their clients, and we actually gave them a grant a few years ago to hire a child advocate to provide assistance to children as they go through dealing with sexual assault or domestic violence with their family. There we go. So here are some volunteer opportunities that our members have enjoyed. We have volunteers for the Interfaith Food Shuttle, which serves as essentially a grocery store for people that need some assistance from time to time. They can go over to the mobile market in Selma and get food. The Nephi Gala, which I mentioned, that year there was a fun masquerade theme. This picture is labeled Interfaith Food Shuttle, but it's actually Plant a Row for the Hungry. We have members that have gone and helped plant and harvest and tend to the garden in general at Plant a Row, where all of the produce benefits people who are experiencing food insecurity in Johnston County. On the right, you see Harbor's Walk the Park in Her Shoes, which is a great fun event where they raise awareness and funds for the work of Harbor. There's some men in women's heels and dresses, and they literally walk the park in her shoes. Another picture from the Nephi Gala. You also see the SS Strong Feeds event, where for the last 2 years we've worked with that group to package 10,000 meals to benefit families here in Johnston County. And then we've done things like made blankets with the Blanket Hearts organization for our partners. I think that year the blankets went to Hospice House. Backpack Buddies is a favorite of members. We package, I think it's 270 meals to send home with kids over long weekends. This program specifically benefits the children at South Smithfield and Selma Elementary Schools. And it's a great opportunity, as you can see here, to bring children along to help grow their own volunteer experience and to encourage that for them in the future. And then on the right is a Miracle League game at the Miracle League Field. I think this is actually the first game that they had at that field when it opened. This is the Color Outside the Lines 5K, which is a run that the Boys and Girls Club previously did, and then the Walk to End Alzheimer's. We have a number of different volunteer roles at events like that. On the left here is a bag stuffing event for the Nissan Foundation. As you can imagine, if you go to the hospital with a child in an emergency, you may have left home without a toothbrush and a toothpaste, and some of those things that you need. So it was an opportunity for us to give in that capacity. And then we've also had members work with Habitat for Humanity to build houses and learn some very impressive skills when it comes to installing insulation and all sorts of different projects. We've done previously a rake and run where we helped some folks who were shut in with yard maintenance. And then we always do a coat drive around the holidays for the kids at my kids club. And we've previously done some school supply drives for them as well. We have 2 signature events every year, the first of which is Touch a Truck, which is coming up hopefully on November 7th here in downtown Smithfield. It's a lot of fun. It gives children of all ages really a chance to climb in and on and explore some pretty cool vehicles that they may not otherwise get a chance to touch. So here you've got ambulances and police vehicles, race car, army vehicle, and a Sherp, which is a pretty cool thing that goes in water. Here's some more pictures from Touch a Truck. We've had a dog come with a truck one time. We've had inflatables, tractors, construction vehicles. This is a sand pile that we have with an opportunity for kids to play with some construction toys in the sand. And then the Sheriff's Department Bearcat, which is a pretty cool vehicle. There's kids in one of the refrigerator trucks from Cisco, and then we also have some superheroes and princesses on hand typically. So Touch Truck is always a lot of fun. We have food trucks as well. There's another tow truck, and then one of our police officers, Brian Obranovich, with one of the children in the Smithfield Police Department car. So here's some ways that you can support Touch a Truck. We have sponsorship opportunities. You can display a vehicle, a raffle ticket. You can help us spread the word, and we would love to have you join us. Again, that will hopefully be on November 7th. You can find more information on our website at jwlsmithfield.com, and I will draw your picture or your attention to the picture in the middle. Touch a Truck even brings together our Wolfpack and Tarfield mascots, so it's truly a great event with a great committee, which is the one you see on the left there. Big Night Out is our second signature fundraiser. It's a party with a purpose. So we have a great time and have been able to raise a lot of funds for our Community Impact Grant Award recipients throughout the years. These are pictures from a couple of different Big Night Outs, actually. This year we did have to make a change to make it a virtual Big Night In, but we were able to adapt really well thanks to some members who really went the extra mile to make it a success. Last year our theme was a Gatsby Gala for Giving. So it was 1920s reminiscent. So here's some pictures from that event. It's a lot of fun. You can see we have a silent auction, we have entertainment, we have food. So we will hopefully be having a Big Night Out in 2021. The date for that has not been announced yet. And again, there's some ways that everyone can support Big Night Out. As I mentioned, our fundraisers do provide us with funds to benefit some important work that's happening in Johnston County through our Community Impact Grant Program. Since 2016, when the league was started, we have given $91,000 to various organizations to meet their needs. So for example, for the Miracle League, we were able to provide all of their players with uniforms and trophies, shirts for volunteers. For the Boys and Girls Clubs of Johnston County, we have provided funds for their Smart Girls program. For Harbor, like I said, we provided funds for a child advocate. The rescue mission, we provided funds for blessing baskets, so that if you are in need, you can call them and they can actually deliver to you some food items and that sort of thing. One of our focuses over the last few years has been food insecurity. So we are trying to make a difference and trying to ensure that people in Johnston County don't go hungry. We have a few initiatives led by our provisional members to address those food insecurity needs. Last year, actually 2 years ago now, some of our provisional members created a cookbook called Tried and True From Our Homes to Yours. It has more than 270 recipes. They're actually available on our website. You can get one there on our online store, and get one, buy one, get one 50% off. So this has recipes from our members and their family members. And the great thing about this cookbook was the proceeds allowed us to create or to print and give 2 cookbooks, 2 copies of our Welcome Home cookbook to the ladies transitioning out of harbor. So they had been at the shelter and would be leaving, and there's obviously a need for nutritious and budget-friendly recipes, and we were able to provide that. So that's been a great initiative, and we are almost sold out of cookbooks. And then both 2 years ago and this past year, our provisional members created blessing boxes, which are mini food pantries. So now they are located at 8 locations around the county. The fire departments in Archer Lodge, Benson, Kinley, Meadow, Pine Level, Selma, Smithfield, and Thanksgiving. And those are filled by JWL members, but also members of the community. So if you have things that you don't need, we invite you to donate them and share them at the blessing box. And if you are in need, we invite you to take the blessing. That's been a really great thing. And we have a Facebook group. It's Blessing Boxes of Johnston County, I believe, about those. Another project completed by our provisional members this past year was the printing of a food resource guide that is a listing of all of the resources in Johnston County for people for food and to address food insecurity. So there are blessing boxes, food pantries, congregate meals, and more, and it's something that is updated as we learn more. We actually need to add our 2 new blessing box additions to that. And then these are some other examples of things that we do in the community. One is reindeer food making stations at tree lightings in the area. That's just an opportunity for us to spread some cheer and magic for children. I'm going to skip the middle picture for now. The third is Letters from Santa, which again just shares that magic, the proceeds from which have benefited our efforts to impact food insecurity. We send personalized letters to children from Santa himself, and we even sent some to like a 55-year-old man and a 30-year-old and a dog this year, where people are just so excited about the impact that they're purchasing a letter from Santa and sharing some holiday magic, how far that would go. The initiative in the middle is Peanut Butter Buddies, and this was an idea brought to us by Lisa Bland, who's pictured this year, and she really saw a need with our Backpack Buddies program that we work with, and an opportunity for us to provide peanut butter, which is a shelf-stable product that is a great addition for kids to be able to take home. But Backpack Buddies did not have peanut butter to be able to send home on a regular basis. So Lisa and the league set a goal of, okay, let's collect 900 jars of peanut butter to be able to provide for the needs for those kids for the rest of the school year. What ended up happening was we, I think, almost quadrupled our goal and had enough peanut butter to share throughout Johnston County to Backpack Buddy programs at all of the schools. So that was a great effort, really supported by the community. It would not have been a success without the donations from people all over and the participation of local grocery stores as well. So if you've heard all this and you're interested in being a member, we would love to have you. Here are the provisional member requirements. The first is you would need to complete an application. It's pretty simple, and it is basically providing your contact information, and just letting us know that you'd love to join the league. So you'll do that. The deadline is July 30th, and you'll pay your annual dues at that time. Those dues are $80, and if you would like to, you can break those up into installments. So $40 would be due now, and then $40 would be due by, I believe it's September 15th. You would also need to attend provisional training on August 30th from 1 to 5 p.m. We'll be in touch with more information about that at a later date. You would complete a provisional project selected by the provisional members. So those are things that, like the projects I mentioned previously, were the blessing box creation and extension, the cookbook creation, and then the food resource guide creation. In the past, they've all been geared toward food insecurity, but they don't necessarily have to be. So that's something that you, along with your other provisional or new members, will make a determination on, and you will go from there. You would also need to complete 8 volunteer hours over the course of the year. So that includes 4 in-league hours and 4 out-of-league hours. And the in-league hours are for things that are done within the league. So if you represent the league by volunteering at a peanut butter buddies drive collection site, that would be in-league hours. Or if you are one of the helpers at a reindeer food making station, that would be in-league hours. Our out-of-league hours are for things that benefit our partner organizations. So if you volunteer, for example, at the Methane Gala, or if you provided dessert for the hospice house, those are going to be things that are out-of-league hours. You would need to attend 5 general membership meetings. Those are held on the 3rd Thursday of every month from September until November, and then from January until June. And you would need to fulfill member requirements for Touch a Truck and Big Night Out. So for example, for Touch a Truck, you can meet your requirement by doing one of 4 things. The first would be securing a vehicle to participate in the event. The second would be to secure a sponsor of $250 or more. And you could also meet it by securing $300 sponsors. The third would be to volunteer for a shift on the day of the event. And then the fourth option would be to pay a buyout. So if you cannot give of your time, but want to support the league's efforts financially, then you can do so in that way. For Big Night Out, the requirements previously have been that you sell 4 tickets to the event, that you secure a sponsor at a certain level, and or a silent auction item donation of a certain level. There's also an opportunity to pay a buyout for the Big Night Out requirement. I will say, in this time of COVID and all of the uncertainty surrounding pretty much everything, there may be some things that change with the requirements over the course of the year. For example, this year we ended up not being able to have, we had to cancel one membership meeting and had to have some virtually. So we adjusted some requirements there. But this is how the requirements stand at this point. We do have a membership scholarship if the dues would present a financial hardship for you. We certainly don't want that to be an issue for any potential members who want to serve the community. So we do have 4 partial member scholarships that we're offering this year, which means that your dues would be $40 instead of the standard $80. And it is an anonymous process. The scholarship application deadline is July 17th. So we would want to get those applications in pretty quickly. And again, that's a pretty quick and simple process. But we don't want membership in the league to be out of reach for anyone. So anonymous process, there's nothing to worry about there with regard to who might find out that you're a scholarship recipient. So with that, I will leave you all with this briefly. You will find more information about the league as well as the application on our website, www.jwlsmithfield.com. And there's our email address, jwlsmithfield@gmail.com, if you have any questions or would like to reach out to us, as well as our social media accounts there. So with that, I will see you guys again. and take any questions that you all might have. We do have some current members on the call as well. They'd be glad to, I'm sure, answer questions you have about their favorite volunteer experiences or why they got involved with the league, and things like that. So you might have any questions, make sure you unmute yourself first.
Hey, Debbie and Katie, this is Kelly. I'm the one who has been emailing you. So, and Emily, we will follow up with you as well after. So if you guys have any questions after you're like going through this or anything, feel free to send me an email. But thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely. Thanks, Kelly. Kelly is our president-elect for this year, and her last name is Blanchard, and she will also be, as president-elect, overseeing the provisional year. So she's going to be the person who's your go-to for provisional member training and the provisional project. And Kelly is pretty awesome, which you will learn pretty quickly once you've had a chance to work with her.
So my name is Kate. How many hours is the provisional project typically? So I saw that you all, the provisional class last year had 3, which is awesome. Is there an hour requirement for that, or just require that you participate in all 3?
There's not an hour requirement, and I may have misspoken. For the past 2 years, we have had 2 groups do a project each. So the first year we had The first year we had a blessing box group and the cookbook group. And Kristen Brown actually is on the cookbook group, and she can speak to that. She's actually one of the chairs for that committee. She was a new member 2 years ago, and Sharon Turner is also on the call. You can't see her, and Don Wilcox, and I think they were both also on the cookbook committee. And then Julie Ashby was a provisional member this year. So the provisionals this year did the blessing box expansion. So the first year they did 4, this year they did 4. And then the other group did the food resource guide. And Julie was on the food resource guide, is that right? No, blessing box expansion. That's right. I remember you painting a blessing box at Karen, I think. So I'll actually let those ladies talk to you a little bit about their experience. It will depend on the project, certainly. And there have been about 10, I think, provisional members working on each project. And you know, some do, for blessing boxes, for example, some did actual building, and some focused more on a drive to collect items, and some did some of the PR and that sort of thing. So, but I'll let Kristen and Julie share about their experiences. Julie, you want to go first?
Sure. Okay. Can you guys hear me? Okay. So I did the blessing boxes this past year, and basically what it was we got together, we decided on the project, and after we had decided on the project, we kind of broke off in the groups. Like I said, oh, I want to do the blessing box expansion, and basically you just help out where you feel like you're needed. We had a chair and a co-chair, and they're like, okay, this needs to be done. This is going to happen at this day, at this time. Can you help? If you can help, you helped. So I helped building the blessing boxes, painting the blessing boxes, and I also went with one of our other members this past year, and we installed the blessing box, the final one in Kinley. So I mean, it's just kind of, it didn't really take up too much time. And like I said, it was kind of, you help where you needed it. So, and it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it.
Sarah, you're on mute.
Thank you. I was just saying, Kristen has been one of our provisional mentors also this past year. So she helped to guide our provisional members through the project, and was able to offer any assistance that they needed, and just kind of be another um, personal point of contact as well.
Sorry for jumping up a few minutes ago. I have a dog that's wearing a cone because of a hotspot issue, and he was running around my office knocking over everything. So I had to lock him in here so he wouldn't make a big mess. As Sarah said, I was a provisional member 2 years ago and was the co-chair of the cookbook project. At the time, the cookbook project sounded great. And it did, don't get me wrong, it did turn out great. Looking back on it in hindsight, it was a very ambitious project to have undertaken as provisional members. So that project was very time consuming, but I think it was well worth it in the end. Um, we've certainly had a lot of really positive response. We were able to do a lot of great things with the funds from the sale of the cookbooks. So that was my experience with the provisional project. This past year, working as a mentor with the provisional members, I was able to sit with them as they walked through what they were going to do and how they wanted to do it. And it really turned into more of a brainstorming event where we would guide them to maybe where they needed to be headed, but we wouldn't give them the answers of how they needed to get things done. We strictly acted in a mentor capacity. So I'm planning to be a mentor this year. So I'm looking forward to seeing some new provisional members this year, and be glad to answer any questions you got.
Thanks, Kristen. Okay, I hope that answers your question. If not, just unmute yourself and let us know. The one thing that I will say is, so Jen Adams, who is another of our fantastic mentors, in the comments said, good thing about that is we learn the right questions to ask to make sure the groups pick a project that's not overly large that takes up so much time. So we are learning. Kristen's year, Kristen, Sharon, and Dawn's year was the first year where provisional members chose their own projects. Previously, they had done something a little bit different. So we learned from that year and made some improvements for Julie's year this year, and have continued to do so, I think, for next year even. I know Kelly and her committee have some great ideas, and are going to be continuing to fine tune that. There's something else. Oh, but going back to the time commitment, part of also what I would say is JWL, you're going to get out what you put in. So there are also some additional opportunities to attend things like member socials and member development opportunities. So for example, this past year, we did a self-defense class, which was a lot of fun, and definitely armed our members with some helpful knowledge and real, it was also a great bonding experience, Sharon said, with some real world skills. Things like financial planning classes. This year we actually did a coupon class so that, especially when we're in this new world of COVID and also trying to assist the community, expanding our knowledge of how to take advantage of sales and that sort of thing at the grocery store, whether it's for our own personal experience or to help us supply more for blessing boxes, for example, has been a great thing. The member development committee has a long list of things they're working on this year. We're in the planning process for all of our member development opportunities and socials at this point. So lots of good opportunities to get involved and to meet people. We have members that have told us many reasons that they joined, but I would say probably the top three are to meet like-minded women, whether like me, I grew up in Smithfield and then came back home and didn't know a ton of people after coming back from college and grad school. but some of my good friends from high school are members of the league. And I also met great people that have moved here in the last year, 5 years, 10 years, and others that have lived here their whole lives I've just never met yet. So that's one thing. The other is to serve the community. And we provide a lot of great opportunities to do that you may not have access to if you're kind of just volunteering. If I was just volunteering sort of as me, Sarah, I was not aware of all the opportunities that I have come to learn about thanks to JWL. And then the third opportunity I think is to provide that outlet, or to take advantage of that outlet to pursue the personal development, whether that's leadership skills or taking on a new role, or working on kind of the real personal side of personal development.
Sarah, I just wanted to join in on a couple of things you said. I know you were talking about the time commitment, and I think at the outset, when you're first listening to this, it can sound like a very overwhelming time commitment. But as Sarah mentioned, there are so many different ways that you can earn your volunteer hours that it won't feel like you're doing volunteer hours. And there's a lot of opportunities for things with our children and things like that. So don't let the volunteer hours scare you off from the beginning. There's going to be plenty of opportunities to earn those hours.
Absolutely. Are there any other questions? Do our current members have anything else to add? And I guess I should check. So Kelly, will you share a little bit about what your favorite volunteer experiences have been with JWL?
I've really enjoyed being able to go out and especially do things like with the peanut butter buddies, because with that I have two sons, but my one son was 2 when it took place, and he really got the message even at his level about the importance of children and backpack buddies. And he's also been able to go with me when we've done backpack buddy stuff and events. And then I love being able to help out with this past year's Raise the Booty bounty for the Partnership for Children. That was so much fun. Just going out and seeing like how enthusiastic some of our partner organizations are about their causes and learning more about their causes and how they also engage the community. So those are probably my 2 favorites from this year. My first year when I was a new member, we did the Smart Girls program. And I really loved going out, and we would teach like a unit to these young girls. At that time, it was Boys and Girls Club. Now it's My Kids Club. And I like that interaction with the young girls. And I also love going out and delivering to My Kids Club the coats at Christmas time, because they're so appreciative, and then you know that you're giving them something that they really need. And just to see how appreciative these children are for a coat that, you know, every child should be able to have a warm coat, especially in the winter. And when we're able to do that and see their reaction, those are probably the most rewarding volunteer opportunities I've been on.
Thanks for sharing. Just if anybody else wants to share favorite volunteer opportunities or anything like that, favorite JWL experiences, if you'll unmute yourself, that would be awesome. One thing I did want to touch on is the cost involved with being a member. That literally can just be your dues. So the $80 if they're full dues, or the $40 if you've gotten one of our membership scholarships. And all of your other requirements can absolutely be met by volunteering your time or by soliciting sponsorships or silent auction donations, silent auction item donations. And we have some members who are very well versed in doing both of those. So if you if you're not the person that feels comfortable asking people for money or selling tickets, or asking for donations of silent auction items, we have some folks that are fantastic at it and can definitely help coach you through it and provide some simple suggestions and ways to make it happen.
Hello, ladies.
Hi.
Hi, my apologies. This is Elle. I'm just coming off the road from traveling.
No worries. No worries at all. We just are answering some questions that folks have, and you can catch up on our on the whole presentation on our social media, on our Facebook page, Junior Women's League of Smithfield, and it'll also go on our website, jwlsmithfield.com, very shortly as well.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely. So just reading through the comments, Jen Adams said she didn't know anyone in Johnston County when she joined, and now she has a wonderful group of friends and people she can depend on. She said she's never made a better decision than when she joined, and I didn't pay her to say that. Jen came from Wilmington, I believe, and she's been a great member development chair. In the past, she's been involved in tons of committees. Will be another one of our great provisional mentors this year. So we've got some really amazing women who are members. We have professionals. We have doctors and attorneys, and we have fantastic teachers who are worth their weight and more in gold. We have business owners. We have stay-at-home moms. We have people who have recently launched new ventures, and retirees. Our members really run the gamut. It's a great group.
Hi, ladies.
Yeah.
I know you can't see me. I'm Dawn Wilcox. I'm going to head up the in-league fundraising group this year. We've got a lot of things already outlined that we're going to do, and we'll have many opportunities for everyone to help us. We'll be doing the mum sale again this year. We'll be doing the Belk Charity Days. We're going to do the Zaxby night, and we're going to do a bingo night. So we're always looking for help, and we're always open for suggestions. I'm also going to be working on the silent auction committee for Big Night Out. So there's just lots of opportunities, and I enjoy giving back to the community, and I really look forward to meeting every one of you.
Thanks, Dawn. Dawn's been a great addition to the league, and she just joined 2 years ago now as well. One other thing that I wanted to mention really quickly is a benefit of the league is that I think we're all really understanding that everyone is in a different season, and everyone has a different capacity. So some people can volunteer almost endless hours, and some people just don't have that ability right now because maybe they're in school, or they have children who keep them busy with activities, or they do a lot of traveling, or whatever the case may be. So there are opportunities to certainly give your time, give your finances if you're so led and so able to benefit our partners. And it's a great supportive group that really gets that, you know what, we can't do all the things, but together we can have a really big impact when we're all working toward the same goal. And I think, in the past, let's see, this will be our 5th service year we're entering now. No, I'm sorry. Well, 5.5. So our first one was half a year. And in that time, we have given more than $90,000 in community impact grants to nonprofit organizations in Johnston County. We have done over 10,600 hours of volunteer service to the community. So it takes everybody doing their own part to make it all happen. And we're successful because everyone's been so willing to give what they can to support the league and our mission and other organizations in Johnston County. So. We'll do one last call for questions. And for those of you who are on the call, whether it's on Zoom or on Facebook, if you will send us an email at jwlsmithfield@gmail.com, we would love to get in touch with you and answer any questions that may come later or that you don't feel comfortable asking on social media. We'd be glad to do that. And the application is available. The scholarship application, again, will close on July 17th, so in just a few days. Membership application will close July 31st. So if you would like to join, you'll need to do so before then. Kelly, anything I'm forgetting?
Not that I can think of, and I know some of you may have already been reached out to from some of the provisional committee. So if you already have a league member that's been reaching out with you, shared the link with you tonight, if you would like, you can actually email them back if you have questions as well. But thank you so much for joining and taking time out of your evening. And we look forward to you joining.
So we have one more question. Someone said, I just joined in. What's the process in joining and what are the fees? So the membership application is available on our website, jwlsmithfield.com. I'll do a quick run through of the member requirements again. So you would need to, over the course of the next year, attend 5 general membership meetings, which are held the third Thursday of every month in Smithfield. You would need to volunteer 8 hours over the course of the next year with the league, 4 in-league hours that serve the league, and 4 out-of-league hours that serve our partners. You would need to meet the requirements for tow truck, and those are to secure a sponsor, to secure a vehicle or a truck, to volunteer for a shift on the day of the event, or you can pay a buyout to meet your requirements. You would need to meet the requirements for Big Night Out. So the requirements there in the past have been to sell 4 tickets to the event, to get a sponsor of a certain level, to get a silent auction item donation of a certain amount, or you can pay the buyout for that as well. And then you will complete a provisional project with the other members of the provisional class. So the other new members, y'all will work on a project together. In the past, our members have, we've had 2 sets of provisional classes do a blessing box construction and installation, where they've each installed 4 blessing boxes throughout Johnston County. We've had one group one year do a cookbook made up of recipes for members, and then the proceeds from the sale of that cookbook allowed us to donate 2 cookbooks full of nutritious, budget-friendly recipes to the ladies transitioning out of Harbor Shelter. And then this year, the other provisional group did a food resource guide, so a printed and digitally published list of resources to address food insecurity within Johnston County, to make it an easy place to find those all in one place for folks. So the fees are, the membership fees are $80. We do have 4 partial scholarships to assist with those for anyone who may have a financial hardship such that the dues prevent them from joining the league. So the scholarship will be $40, which would cut the dues in half to $40. And all of your other requirements can be met in ways that you don't have to spend any money. So the total potential cost for members for the year would be $80. If you receive the membership scholarship, it would be $40. So Dawn, I hope that answers your question. If you have other questions, you can email us at jwlsmithfield@gmail.com. We'd be glad to answer those. Applications available on our website, jwlsmithfield.com. And you can catch the whole presentation. It will remain up on our Facebook page, and we will get added to our website as well. So I think that is everything. Let's refresh this one time. If there's nothing else, we'll go ahead and shut this down for the night. Oh, and we do have actually, we're working on some meet and greet opportunities. So if you would like to come and meet some more of our members in a safe, socially distant way, please check out our website and our social media for some more information about those coming up pretty soon. We want to make sure that everybody's safe, but we do want to give everybody an opportunity to meet some other of our members and get to know us and the league a little bit better. Thank y'all very much. Have a good night, and we hope that you will join us.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Sarah.
Thank you.